Hi, this is Jerry, Kilo Mike 4, Zulu Kilo Bravo. Got another upgrade to the remote antenna switch. This cleans it up so much more. I'm sorry to say I did not think of this. For some reason it never occurred to me. But he said, why don't you remove the terminal block and just wire coax straight from the relays to the RF input. It's a good idea. I can't argue with it at all. So today, that's what we're going to do. You see how it is right now, and it doesn't look bad, but there is, some possibility for RF from the terminal strip itself, because we have to daisy chain all the connections together, and we've got the yellow wires. You ever had one of those moments where you say to yourself, why didn't I think of that? Well, this is what I didn't think of. We had taken out the terminal block in the last video for this one, but it never crossed my mind to take out this second one here. I said, well, what do I need to take it out for? But eliminate unshielded wire and replace it with coax. So that's what one of my viewers recommended, and what I've done is I've taken a piece of coax from each of the relays and brought it down here and connected it to the center conductor of the SO239. It eliminates all that unshielded terminal block and the unshielded yellow wires that used to be here, and replaced it with coax. This is still RG316 coax, and on the NanoVNA I don't see difference. But I really don't expect to see a difference there. And why is that? The amount of power. These things, they don't, it's some milliwatts, possibly even microwatts. I'm not sure exactly how much these things use, but it is extremely small compared to what you would even use for QRP. The things that would be addressed by using coax won't necessarily be seen by this NanoVNA, but it would be seen more in actual use. 50 watts, 100 watts, 200 watts, 300 watts, maybe 500 watts. I would be cautious about using this at 500 watts or more without testing. Unfortunately, I don't have an amp, so I can't test these relays at higher wattages. They're rated for 30 and 40 amps DC. That's not the same as RF as far as how the relay might react. RF is AC, and RF has a tendency to it wants to propagate, and how that would impact these relays, I'm not sure. At 100 watts and less, I don't see any negative effects. Now, right now, power is off, and one other thing I did that, after I got to thinking about it, was a little confusing. With the power off, of course, there's no relays lit, but when you turn the power on, it would light up position 1. And that might give you the false indication that there was something connected to position 1. Well, in our new configuration, when we don't have power, going to the remote switch. The antenna, port 1, is connected to the normally closed side of the relay. So when you turn the power on to the remote switch, it disconnects antenna 1 from the relay. And that light was on, so that didn't set well after I thought about it. So what I did is I just cut the wire that was routing the 12 volts to the relay. Actually, it's less than 12 volts because we're stepping it down. But this LED will no longer light even with the power on, and I'll show that here. Right now the power is off. Let's turn the power on. LED doesn't come on, but you see the trace here has changed. This is what it looks like when there's no antenna connected. And just to show, this is what it looks like with an antenna connected. So, with the power on, it disconnects the antenna, and we don't get any kind of indicator LED lighting up. But if we switch to antenna 2, then we get our LED lighting up there. So let's move the coax from the antenna 1 position to the antenna 2 position. And you should see the trace on the NanoVNA is now what we were seeing when we were doing our testing in our previous video, where we've got virtually no loss up here. We got a negative 276 milli-dBs of insertion loss at 30 megahertz. And we're seeing this green trace here indicates SWR. But we don't seem to be seeing that in real life once we connect the antennas to it. So again, I think this is just the reactance of the relay contacts and the relay circuit here itself. I don't think that's anything to be concerned with. Alright, so let's go to position 3. And as soon as we switch it, we see it. This shows that the circuit is open again. The SWR goes all the way to the top because it's an open circuit. There's nothing connected there now. And the log mag says, you got a lot of loss here. Which, yeah, because there's nothing connected. So let's go to antenna 3. Connect that up. Okay. And there we go. And again, we've got basically the same trace we had when we had the terminal block here. But we shouldn't have any negligible amounts of any kind of radiation coming from this. You know, this is probably the longest piece of bare wire in the entire circuit right here. And I could have made that shorter, and I was routing them. Also, what I did was I shortened the wires coming through from the relay to the antennas because they had been routed around those terminal blocks. So I shortened them up and brought them a little straighter over to the antenna connectors. So let's go on to position 4. Again, this is what it looks like when position 3 is disconnected. Get this disconnected and moved over here. And, you know, all the little static glitches and everything should go away as I tighten this up. So there, you know, it's still basically zero insertion loss, negative 281 milli-dB, I think is what it's saying. everything's looking good there. So let's go ahead and test position 5. Disconnect from 4, connect to 5. And there it is at antenna position 5. So, switch is working. And just to verify, well, let's go back to antenna position 1. And you can see it is showing that it's not, nothing is connected there. There's no connection between that. Just wanted to show you that that is the case. We'll turn the power off now. And now the RF input is connected to antenna 1 with the power off. So, unless y'all come up with more ideas, I think this is probably the last iteration or the last enhancement or modification to the remote antenna switch. Again, routing the coax directly to the connector was not my idea. It never crossed my mind. But as soon as I saw it in the comment that the viewer sent me, I said, duh, why didn't I think of that? And it just shows sometimes it pays to have more than one set of eyes looking at something and a different train of thought. Sometimes my train tends to get derailed or sidetracked going the wrong direction. And I appreciate constructive input, and I appreciate that. I think this can benefit everyone. So again, this is probably the last upgrade for this switch. It's been a interesting little project. It may not be for everyone. People that are running full legal limit, this probably won't work for you. I wish it would. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know because I have no way to test it. But even if I were testing it, I would start, like at 200 watts, check it out, step it up 300, 400, 500, so forth to see how the thing reacts. Well, this is Jerry, Kilo Mike 4, Zulu Kilo Bravo. Hope you have a blessed day.